Welcome to Finance Deep Dive. Okay, what if everyone just got a regular paycheck from the government? No strings attached. That's the big idea behind Universal Basic Income, or UBI. It's one of the most talked about and, most debated economic ideas out there today. So let's break down what it is exactly. At its heart, you can think of UBI as a kind of guaranteed income floor for everyone. So the government gives out a regular, fixed payment, and it goes to every single citizen. That's the universal part. No exceptions. It's also a consistent and predictable amount of cash, not just a one-off thing. And yeah, this is a public program funded by the state. And this is the kicker. It comes with absolutely no strings attached, no work requirements, total freedom on how you spend it. So why is this pretty radical idea getting so much attention from economists and politicians all over the world? Well, it's supposed to tackle some of our biggest problems head on. For starters, supporters say it's the ultimate safety net to fight poverty. Then there's AI and automation, right? As robots take over more jobs, UBI could be a critical cushion for people trying to adapt. And finally, it could just get rid of today's super complicated welfare systems and replace them with one simple, direct payment. Now, beyond just fixing problems, proponents see some seriously game-changing benefits. Just think about the security and freedom you'd have, knowing your basic needs are covered. People could go back to school, take a risk, or even start a business. And all that spending power? It could give the whole economy a major boost by driving up demand for pretty much everything. And at its very core, it's a powerful tool to directly tackle inequality, helping to close that gap between the rich and everyone else. But hold on, it's not that simple. Critics point to some massive risks that you just can't ignore. The first, and let's be honest, the biggest hurdle is the insane cost. We are talking about a price tag that would easily run into the trillions of dollars. That's an enormous financial challenge for any country. And think about this. If everybody suddenly has more money, but there isn't more stuff to buy, what happens? Prices could shoot up. That's some serious inflation risk. And then there's the big question about human nature. Would people just stop working if they had a guaranteed income? This isn't all just theory. So what happens when people actually try this stuff out in the real world? Well, one of the most famous tests was in Finland. They gave 2,000 unemployed people a basic income. And the results were fascinating. The people in the study said they were happier and healthier, but it didn't really get more of them into jobs. You could even say the U.S. ran its own temporary UBI experiment with the COVID stimulus checks. And they really showed a dual effect. That money was a lifeline for families, for sure, but a lot of economists agree it also helped fuel the inflation that hit us later. So after all that, what's the bottom line here? It really comes down to this massive trade-off. UBI has the potential to wipe out poverty, but the risk of huge debt and runaway inflation is very, very real. So the question we're all left with is this a revolutionary path to a better future, or is it just too big of a gamble to take? If you enjoyed this video and want more deep dives like it, definitely hit that subscribe button.